Kenyans have 24 days to scrutinize the harmonized draft constitution and make proposals to the committee of experts. But the proposed hybrid model of government is already emerging as a sticky point, with critics arguing that it gives the Prime Minister executive power through the back door.
Whoever is in charge of really government in a country, he must be the person who was given mandate by the ordinary people, by the voters.
There must be one elected person who has been given the full mandate by the Kenyans, whether he is the president or the prime minister.
But Dr. Chaloka Beyani, a member of the committee of experts, says power sharing is not an option, as Kenyans have expressed the need to reduce the presidential powers.
In order to unify the country, power has to be shared, but in sharing that power, the Constitution clearly specifies the way in which the Prime Minister will behave and the way in which the President will behave.
However, critics of the model have wasted no time in describing it as a recipe for constant wrangles between the Prime Minister and the President. The draft constitution proposes that the Prime Minister be the head of government, nominate cabinet appointees, and chair cabinet meetings. The President, on the other hand, shall be the head of state, Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, and Chairman of the National Security Council.
We're talking about a president with a threshold of 50% plus, with the 25% of more than half of the regions in the country, which means we're talking about a president whose authority, whose mandate is uncontested.
The committee of experts has been accused of lacking the courage to propose either a parliamentary or presidential system of government. But the Nzamba team sees possible gerrymandering as the potential source of conflict and not necessarily the structure of the executive.
Do we want a parliamentary system or a presidential system? But we can't have the best of both worlds, because then what you do is you create the worst of both systems.
You get the impression that the problem is not the system of government per se, but it is the skewed balance in terms of population and representation in terms of constituencies. It's true that it may determine who comes into government and in what way, and I think this is what worries the politicians.
From the views expressed so far, it's clear that achieving a system of government that draws support across the political divide will be a delicate balancing act. Francis Gachuri for Sunday Live.